Have you ever felt like you were meant for something bigger, like the world around you was too small for the person you were becoming? You might have been told you were different, misunderstood, or not enough. People may have rejected you, overlooked your potential, or even tried to hold you back. But deep down, you always knew that there was something special about you, something that the world could not yet comprehend. If you're nodding your head right now, you might just be one of the chosen ones. Being chosen isn't always about being in the spotlight or having the world recognize your worth immediately. It's about a journey, a spiritual awakening that often begins with discomfort, rejection, and isolation. It's about standing apart, not because you want to, but because you have no choice. The energy that flows through you, the depth of your thoughts, the dreams you have, they are all signals that you were never meant to blend in. You were meant to stand out, to be a force of nature that moves through the world unapologetically. Being chosen means you carry a unique frequency, and not everyone will understand it. They may try to dim your light, make you question your worth, or convince you that you're just like everyone else. But you're not. You are a beacon of potential, a soul born to rise above the noise and make an impact that ripples through time. The essence of being chosen is that you were picked by something greater than yourself. Your journey is not meant to be easy, but it is meant to be transformative. And the world will eventually take notice, whether they are ready or not. Understanding your unique power. You've always known that you weren't like everyone else, haven't you? Maybe it started when you were a child, when your dreams were bigger than your peers, or when your intuition guided you in ways that others couldn't understand. This sense of difference isn't just a trait, it's a power. Your unique energy radiates, and people feel it, whether they acknowledge it or not. But with that energy comes a responsibility, a weight that can feel too heavy at times. Imagine walking into a room and instantly commanding attention, not because you're trying to, but because your presence is undeniable. That's the power of being chosen. It's an energy that cannot be ignored. It's the quiet confidence that others feel even when you're silent. It's the force that draws people to you, but also the one that pushes them away when they aren't ready for it. Not everyone will understand you, and that's okay. The power you carry isn't meant for the masses. It's meant for those who can truly see you, the ones who are capable of understanding your depth. But how do you harness this power? How do you stop it from overwhelming you, from becoming a burden? The first step is understanding that it's not something you need to control or diminish. Your power isn't a flaw, it's a gift. It's a force that needs to be channeled, not subdued. This understanding will shift everything for you. Once you recognize that your energy is your strength, you'll begin to move through life with a new sense of purpose and direction. The world may try to dim your light, but your power is a flame that can never be extinguished. Rejection, the path to spiritual awakening. Rejection can feel like a punch to the gut. It's painful. It makes you question your worth, your abilities, and sometimes even your purpose. But what if I told you that rejection is the universe's way of preparing you for something far greater? That rejection isn't a reflection of your inadequacy, but a necessary part of your awakening process. Think about it for a moment. Every time someone pushed you aside, dismissed your worth, or failed to see your potential, you were given the space to evolve. Rejection creates a void, and within that void, you discover parts of yourself that were hidden, waiting to emerge. It's in these moments of isolation that you begin to realize who you truly are, not who others want you to be. I've been there, rejected by friends, family, and even society. At first, it stung. I questioned myself, wondering what I was doing wrong. But with time, I began to see rejection not as an end, but as a beginning. It forced me to confront myself, to face my deepest fears and insecurities. And in doing so, I awakened a strength within me that I didn't even know existed. So, the next time you feel rejected, take a step back and look at it from a different perspective. What is the universe trying to teach you? What is it preparing you for? Rejection isn't a punishment. It's a blessing in disguise. It's a sign that you are being elevated to a higher level of consciousness. The pain you feel is simply a part of the process of becoming who you were always meant to be. Embracing your inner villain. When you hear the word villain, what comes to mind? Do you think of someone evil, malicious, and destructive? Or do you see someone who has taken control of their own narrative, someone who has broken free from the chains that society placed around them? In this chapter, we're going to talk about embracing your inner villain. But before you jump to conclusions, let me explain. Being a villain isn't about hurting others. It's about taking ownership of your power. It's about refusing to let anyone define you, to let anyone impose their limitations on you. You've spent too long trying to please others, trying to fit into their narrow expectations. But now, it's time to step into your true power unapologetically. When I decided to embrace my villain era, I stopped seeking validation from others. I stopped caring about what people thought of me. I became the protagonist of my own story, no longer playing the side character in someone else's narrative. This shift was liberating. I stopped apologizing for my strength, my confidence, and my ambition. The world will try to label you as selfish, cold, or even heartless when you start to embrace your inner villain. But in reality, you're simply setting boundaries, protecting your energy, and refusing to play small. Embrace this part of yourself, because it's the key to unlocking the full potential that lies within you. Transcending the old self, the catalyst of change. Do you remember who you used to be? The version of yourself that doubted, second-guessed, and tried to fit into a mold that was never meant for you? That person no longer exists. You've transcended your old self. The catalyst for change was the pain, the struggles, the moments of doubt and fear. All of it led you to this point, the moment when you realized you were capable of so much more. The process of transcending your old self is not a gentle one. It's a storm. It's uncomfortable. It challenges everything you thought you knew about yourself. But it's also incredibly liberating. Every time you shed a layer of doubt, every time you let go of a belief that no longer serves you, you step into a new version of yourself, a version that is stronger, wiser, and more in tune with your true potential. I can tell you from experience, the old version of myself was afraid of being judged, of not being good enough, of not measuring up. But as I faced my fears head-on, I began to shed those limiting beliefs. And with each step I took, I became more aligned with my higher self. Transcending your old self isn't about erasing who you were. It's about embracing the lessons and wisdom from your past while stepping into a new, more powerful version of you. The universe's blueprint, aligning with your higher self. Have you ever felt like there's a greater plan at play in your life, one that you can't always see but feel deep in your soul? That's the universe's blueprint, and it's guiding you toward your higher self. It's easy to get caught up in the chaos of life, to doubt the path you're on, and to question whether you're truly on the right track. But the truth is, the universe has a plan for you, and everything that has happened up until this point has been part of that plan. Aligning with your higher self means trusting that the universe knows exactly what it's doing, even when it feels like things are falling apart. The setbacks, the failures, the rejections, they were all necessary steps in your journey. You weren't meant to stay where you were. You were meant to rise, to evolve, to become the person you were always meant to be. When I finally surrendered to the universe's plan and allowed myself to trust in the process, everything started to fall into place. Opportunities began to present themselves, and I felt more connected to my higher self than ever before. Aligning with your higher self isn't about control. It's about surrendering to the flow of life and allowing the universe to guide you toward your true purpose. Rejection as the gateway to greater opportunities. Rejection, it's a word that stings, a feeling that burns in your chest, making you question your worth, your path, and your place in the world. It's something that at some point we've all faced. Whether it's a failed relationship, a job opportunity lost, or a dream that seems just out of reach, rejection has a way of making us feel small. But what if I told you that rejection isn't the end? What if it's actually the gateway to something far greater than you could ever imagine? I've been there, and I can tell you firsthand, rejection has been one of my greatest teachers. I remember when I was rejected by a group I thought I belonged to. It hit me hard. I wondered what I had done wrong, why I wasn't enough. It took time, but as the pain of rejection faded, something beautiful started to emerge. I realized that the rejection wasn't a reflection of my worth, but a redirection. The doors that slammed shut were clearing the way for better, more aligned opportunities. At first, I couldn't see it. It felt like the universe had abandoned me. But slowly, I started to notice something incredible. The doors that opened after the rejection were not just any doors. They were the doors to my true path, the one that was designed for me, not the one I thought I wanted. The key to understanding rejection is to stop viewing it as a failure, but as a lesson. Every rejection is simply the universe's way of clearing space for something bigger. It might hurt in the moment, but in hindsight, I've come to see that every rejection was necessary for my growth. The relationships I lost, the opportunities that slipped away, they were all part of a larger plan. In those moments of rejection, the universe was preparing me for something I couldn't see yet. And that, my friend, is the beauty of rejection. It's a sign that you're being steered towards something better. So next time you face rejection, take a deep breath and remind yourself, this is not the end, but a redirection. The universe has bigger plans for you than you could ever imagine. Trust it. The greater opportunities that await you are often the ones you couldn't even fathom before. Power and influence, turning your energy into force. There's a quiet power that radiates from within you, a force that can't be seen but can certainly be felt. It's an energy that some people are drawn to, while others are intimidated by. I've learned that this energy, your energy, is one of the most powerful forces you have. But here's the catch. If you don't recognize it and learn to wield it, it can slip through your fingers, leaving you frustrated and exhausted. Power isn't just about what you have, it's about how you use it. I'll be honest with you, there was a time in my life when I didn't understand the power of my own energy. I spent years trying to fit in, trying to please people, trying to be what others expected of me. But the more I tried to conform, the more disconnected I felt. It wasn't until I stopped looking for approval from others and started focusing on myself that I began to tap into my true potential. When I embraced my uniqueness, when I finally accepted that I was meant to stand out, that's when the energy shifted. Suddenly, my presence became undeniable. People started to take notice. The power I had been seeking externally was always within me, just waiting to be recognized. Power, when understood, is magnetic. It doesn't need to be loud or aggressive. It simply needs to be confident and authentic. The more I stepped into my true self, the more influence I had over the world around me. But influence doesn't just happen, it's something you cultivate. The key is to stay aligned with your authentic energy, to move through the world with purpose, and to trust that the right people will be drawn to you. The more I tapped into my true energy, the more I realized that the world was a mirror. My energy reflected back at me, shaping the interactions and opportunities that came my way. This is the power of influence. It's not about controlling others, but about understanding the power of your own presence and using it to shape your reality. Your energy is your force. When you own it, the world can't help but take notice. The world is watching the unstoppable rise of the chosen ones. There's a point in your journey when you realize that the world is no longer just watching. It's waiting. It's waiting for you to step into your power, to fully embrace the energy that you've been carrying all along. And when that moment comes, there's no going back. I remember the first time I felt it, the weight of the world watching my every move. It wasn't just pressure. It was a recognition. People could feel it. They could sense that something big was about to happen. At first, I was overwhelmed. The idea that the world was watching me, my every move, my every word was daunting. But over time, I learned that this wasn't a curse, it was a blessing. The world isn't just watching you, it's waiting for you to claim your place. You are part of something bigger, something that transcends the ordinary. You are meant to rise above, to step into a space that others can't even comprehend. And as you rise, others will be drawn to you, some in admiration, some in fear. This is the paradox of being chosen. The more you step into your power, the more the world notices, and the more resistance you face. But the beauty of this journey is that no amount of resistance can stop you. You are unstoppable. The world has always been watching, but now they are witnessing something incredible, the unstoppable rise of the chosen ones. It's a journey that starts with inner transformation and ends with external manifestation. The world watches as you step into your greatness, and the truth is, it's inevitable. You are meant to rise, and nothing can stand in your way. Your villain era, rewriting your narrative. The moment you decide to take control of your story, everything changes. No longer are you bound by the roles others have assigned you. No longer are you playing a part in someone else's narrative. This is your story now, and you're the one holding the pen. Embracing your villain era is not about embracing negativity or malice. It's about reclaiming your narrative. It's about rewriting the rules and deciding that you no longer need permission to be who you truly are. For so long, I lived according to the expectations of others. I played the part of the good person, the one who was always accommodating, always striving to please. But I realized something. In my effort to make others happy, I had lost myself. The moment I stepped into my villain era, I stopped apologizing for being myself. I stopped dimming my light to make others feel comfortable. It wasn't about being ruthless or uncaring. It was about being unapologetically me. I began to make decisions that aligned with my truth, not with what others thought was best for me. And here's the thing, when you take back control of your narrative, you become unstoppable. The world may try to label you, to put you in a box, but when you refuse to be contained, you become a force to be reckoned with. Your villain era is a time of self-empowerment. It's the moment when you stop living for others and start living for yourself. It's a chapter in your life where you redefine what it means to be strong, to be bold, and to be free. The power of transformation, becoming the force you were always meant to be. Transformation is never easy. It's a process of breaking down and building back up, of shedding old layers and stepping into the unknown. But as difficult as it may seem, it's also one of the most beautiful experiences you'll ever have. I've gone through multiple transformations in my life, each one more challenging than the last. And every time, I came out on the other side stronger, wiser, and more aligned with my true self. Transformation is the ultimate test of your strength. It's about facing your fears, confronting your weaknesses, and allowing yourself to evolve into something greater. I remember the days when I felt lost, when I wasn't sure who I was or where I was going. But those days were the catalyst for change. I knew deep down that I was meant to become something more. And when I fully embraced the transformation, when I stopped resisting the discomfort and embraced the process, everything shifted. The power of transformation is that it doesn't just change you externally, it changes you at the core. It's about becoming the force you were always meant to be. You were born with this power within you, waiting to be unleashed. And once you allow yourself to transform, you'll realize that you are capable of achieving anything. The force you become is unstoppable, and it is your birthright. The transformation is not just a personal evolution. It's a spiritual awakening, a realization that you are limitless. So trust the process, embrace the change, and know that you are becoming the force you were always meant to be. You are unstoppable. Your transformation is your power. And now, the world is ready for you to show up as the true version of yourself. The universal law, reclaiming what was always yours. There's a law in the universe that many don't fully understand, the law of reclaiming what was always yours. It's a law that works in mysterious ways, often invisible, but undeniably powerful. Have you ever felt like something you desired was just out of your reach, or that you were meant for something bigger, but the doors seemed closed to you? I've been there. I know what it's like to feel like you're chasing after something that just seems to slip away every time you try to grasp it. Frustrating, it makes you question your worth, your abilities, and sometimes even your purpose. But here's the secret. What you've been chasing was always meant for you. It was never out of your reach, and it's never too late to claim it. I've experienced this firsthand. There was a time in my life when I worked tirelessly for a goal, a dream that seemed so far off, something I wasn't sure I could ever attain. I felt like no matter how hard I tried, there was always a barrier, always something preventing me from stepping into what I truly deserved. But one day, everything changed. I realized that the universe had been clearing the way for me. Every setback, every rejection, every obstacle had been part of the process, guiding me toward this very moment, the moment when I would claim what was always mine. And when I finally did, When I embraced the fullness of my worth and stepped into my destiny, everything fell into place. The doors I once thought were closed opened wide. The opportunities I had longed for were suddenly within my grasp. The law of the universe works on a deeper level than most can comprehend. It's not about force or struggle. It's about alignment. When you align with your true self, with your higher purpose, what's meant for you will flow to you effortlessly. You will reclaim what was always yours. It was just waiting for you to realize that you were ready for it. So, if you feel like what you've been working for is still just out of reach, trust that it's already yours. The universe is just waiting for you to step into your full power and claim it. And when you do, nothing can stop you. The villains reign, embracing your unstoppable force. There comes a time in every chosen one's life when they stop asking for permission. They stop seeking validation. They stop trying to fit into the boxes that others have placed them in. This is the moment when you enter your villain era. But don't be mistaken, the villain era isn't about being malicious or harming others. It's about embracing your full power and owning who you truly are. It's about taking control of your narrative and refusing to let anyone dictate who you should be. I remember the day I realized I had entered my villain era. It wasn't a sudden, dramatic moment. It was a slow, quiet shift. For years, I had been trying to be the good person, the one who played by the rules, the one who made everyone else comfortable. But it was exhausting, it drained me, and it was never enough. No matter how hard I tried, no matter how much I gave, it seemed like I was always the one overlooked, dismissed, or taken for granted. That's when I realized I didn't need anyone's approval to be great. I didn't need to conform to anyone's standards. I was a force, and it was time to embrace that force unapologetically. Stepping into your villain era means stepping into your full power. It means recognizing that you don't have to apologize for your strength, for your ambition, or for your presence. The world may try to label you, to put you in a box, but the truth is, you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out, to rise above the noise, and to claim your place at the top. I'm not telling you to go out and be ruthless. I'm telling you to stop shrinking yourself for the comfort of others. You are not here to play small. You are here to dominate, to thrive, and to show the world what happens when someone fully embraces their power. When you enter your villain era, you stop waiting for others to recognize your greatness. You step into your own light, and from that moment on, you become unstoppable. Your energy becomes a force that cannot be ignored. A force that bends reality to your will. You are no longer controlled by the opinions of others, and that is the ultimate freedom. This is your reign, this is your era, and nothing or no one can stop you. Aftermath, watching those who rejected you struggle. When you rise, when you claim your power and step into your greatness, something incredible happens. Those who once rejected you, dismissed you, or tried to hold you back will start to feel the weight of their decisions. At first, they may not show it. They may act like they don't care, like they've moved on. But deep down, they can't escape the truth. They made a mistake. They misjudged you. I've seen it happen time and time again. People who once doubted me, who once thought I wasn't worthy of success, are now watching me with a mixture of awe, envy, and regret. They didn't see my potential when it mattered. They thought they could push me aside, cast me out, and I would simply fade into the background. But what they didn't realize was that their rejection didn't diminish me, it fueled me. It pushed me to become stronger, to rise higher, and to prove them wrong. And now, as I move forward, I see them struggling. They see me thriving, and they realize too late that they were wrong about me. The power I've gained from their rejection is something they can't touch. They can't take it away, and that's the beauty of it. The aftermath of rejection isn't about seeking revenge or rubbing it in their faces. It's about standing in your power and letting them witness your growth. It's about showing them that you didn't need their approval to succeed. The universe has a way of making things right. Those who rejected you are left to grapple with their own insecurities, to wrestle with the fact that they couldn't see your worth when it was right in front of them. And while they struggle, you continue to rise. You continue to claim what is rightfully yours. The aftermath of rejection isn't about them, it's about you. It's about your journey, your growth, and your unstoppable rise to the top. And in the end, they'll be left with nothing but the bitter taste of regret. The final act. moving into a future of infinite possibilities. The story isn't over yet. In fact, the final act is just beginning. Everything you've been through, every struggle, every rejection, every moment of doubt has led you to this point. You've faced the challenges. You've broken free from the chains that held you back. You've stepped into your power, and now you're moving into a future full of infinite possibilities. I remember a time when I thought my options were limited, when I felt like the future was uncertain, and that I had no control over what was to come. But I was wrong. The moment I embraced my true potential, the moment I took full control of my story, everything changed. The future opened up in ways I couldn't have imagined. It was as if the universe was finally aligned with my energy, and everything I had ever dreamed of was within reach. The future isn't something to fear. It's something to embrace. When you step into your power, when you claim your place in the world, you become unstoppable. The possibilities before you are limitless. The world is waiting for you to step forward and claim what is yours. So take that step. Embrace the future with confidence and clarity. Know that you have the power to create whatever you desire. The final act isn't about reaching an end, it's about stepping into a new beginning. A beginning where anything is possible and where you hold the pen to your own story. You've done the work. You've overcome the obstacles. Now it's time to move forward, knowing that your future is in your hands and it is filled with infinite possibilities. Conclusion: claiming your place as a chosen one. You are here, you are chosen, and this is your time to shine. It hasn't always been easy, and it's likely that the road ahead won't be either. But one thing is certain: you have everything you need to succeed. You've faced rejection, you've embraced your power, and you've transformed into a force that can't be ignored. Now, it's time to claim your place in the world. The world has been watching, and they've seen your strength. They've seen your growth. And now you're ready to step fully into the person you were always meant to be. Claim your place as a chosen one, not because you're seeking validation, but because you've earned it. This is your moment to rise, to show the world that you are unstoppable and that you are exactly where you were meant to be. Your journey isn't over. In fact, it's just beginning. So go ahead, step into your greatness. The world is waiting for you.